What's happening, everyone? It's Will from the Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast, pulling in a quick shift just to quickly do a reaction review of NXT TakeOver in Toronto. Now, in my opinion, Survivor Series has got big shoes to fill. NXT Brooklyn 2, the TakeOver, I wasn't a big fan of it. Couple of good highlights, but this one blew it out the water for me. This was amazing. On it, there was probably one match I would turn around and say it wasn't good, but it still was a good match. It's just, when you look at the rest of them, it just never compared in the league of the other ones. So let's get right into it, and we're going to start straight away with the glorious one. Bobby Roode against the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. And what else can be said about this match? It was fantastic. Started really strong, going back and forth, a lot of reversals. Kind of try to edge each other out psychologically as well. They told a great story in the ring, with Bobby Roode finishing with the DDT and picking up the win. Crowd going absolute ballistic. The crowd were amazing right away. Now, the only thing with this win, does that put him in the title contendership? He has to be number one contender. He has to be. Or can that all change? We don't know. We just have to wait and see, because things have taken a drastic change anyhow. Up next, we had the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. The Authors of Pain versus Team 6-1. Now, I've got to admit, this is the match I'm talking about, where a lot of people were a bit meh, and the crowd was a bit dead on this one. Author of Pain came out. This is really the first time I've seen them, and like Martin said in the podcast yesterday, it is kind of a rip-off of the Shield, with its army gear. Obviously the Shield was SWAT. TM61, apart from the guy with the tattoos, he's got a Berserk tattoo, so kudos in my book, because I've got a Berserk tattoo. Only cool people have got them. It was an okay match. A lot of good spots, especially the spot jumping off the crane that's holding the cage. The member of Team 6-1 right into the Authors of Pain. Great match, great spots for the match in that sense, but it wasn't as good as the rest of the card, and that's a shame. It's like an average 6 out of 10 match. The only one bit I can see is going to happen is the fact that there's probably going to be a lawsuit in the morning, and it happens right at the end. The guy for the Authors of Pain has a chain. Paul Ellrings dropped a chain from the cage. He wraps it around his hand, goes to do a hit. TM61 blocks. The chain flies out his hand and goes right into the crowd, hitting somebody in the chest. It was funny at the time, but I just hope that person's okay. Authors of Pain pick up the win and become this year's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic champions. Next, which I was a bit shocked that they done it this way, was back-to-back tag team matches. But holy God, this is the match of the night, and I can't even see Survivor Series doing a better match than this. What we had between the Revival and DIY was absolutely fantastic. One of the best tag team matches I've ever seen, and probably will ever see. The crowd were amazing. The spots telling the story was absolutely fantastic. The Revival picked up the first pin, with DIY picking up the last two, becoming the champions. Now we move into the Women's Championship match, with the return of Mickie James. And like a lot of people actually quite forget, she still has been doing a bit of quite a wrestling round about the independent scene, against Asuka, who comes out still, to me, that I think, in my opinion, is a better entrance than Nakamura. I know I'm going to get shit for that one. Even though she's dressed like something out of Final Fantasy X. But Mickie James was really good. She really does deserve, even if it's a temporary contract or a contract to keep her in NXT, to help train the young women wrestlers and help put over the new young blood, which I can probably see her doing. But the match, like we called on the podcast on Saturday, was going to be a bit stiff. I didn't think it was going to be so stiff in certain spots for Mickie James. I didn't think she would take the bumps she did, especially outside the ring with a German suplex. But fair play to Mickie, she took the bumps, put over how strong Asuka is, and they told a great story in the ring. They were doing technical wrestling moves. Mickie doesn't look like she's lost any speed or anything like that. She still looks as agile as like we last seen her 6 years ago in a WWE ring. But the ending, Mickie James does a tap out, so Asuka picks back up her championship. Mickie goes to shake her hand. Asuka just shows her the belt and walks away. So where does this go? This is quite a good storyline, and it's made Asuka look vulnerable, whereas the last couple of matches she's had, apart from probably the Bayley one, it's just she's been dominant, and it's just like that push in NXT like you see sometimes. Like Braun Strowman's getting it in Raw just now. It's just that nothing can stop her. But last night it was really close on how she could have been stopped. Now we come to the NXT Championship match. The rematch everybody's going on about, and the fact it could be Samoa Joe's last match. Now, I still don't get the appeal of Nakamura's entrance. Like I said, I'm going to get shit for it. I still don't get the appeal. I'm more of a rock man, with Edge being one of my favourite entrances. Even the old CM Punk, Kill Switch Engage, this Fire Burns, they're the type of entrances I like. I know it's something different, it's just not my cup of tea. The match was very stiff to watch. Now, I know people have been telling me to like watch the Nakamura matches, you've got to see him, he is brilliant. I'm not going to take away his ability. Just the last two takeovers I've seen, it's just been really stiff to watch. It could just be the opponent he's got in Samoa Joe, because of the way Samoa Joe's built and the speed of which Samoa Joe goes at. Samoa Joe is like a Kevin Owens. There is just one speed, but that speed has got really great manoeuvres in it. Samoa Joe proves why he is one of the top guys for his build, like Kevin Owens, that can pull off certain moves. You'd never believe this guy could do it. The match was quite back and forward, quite a lot of near pinfalls, quite a lot of reversals, a lot of stiff shots to each other, with Joe getting his eye cut open from another running knee. At the end of the match, this is where it all took a shock, and where we don't know where we're going to go now, is Joe is lying on the bottom rope, or near the bottom rope, I can't remember, and Nakamura does a running knee to the back of the head. It looked sore on the camera, but it looked brilliant to watch at the same time. Joe rolls out, Nakamura comes out with the ref being out in the ring. Joe pushes the ref and does a low blow at Nakamura, and then just plants him completely on the steel step. Gets him back in the ring and does a muscle buster on him, and Joe picks up the championship, which shocked that crowd and a lot of people on Twitter when I was talking to them. But where does this leave it now? Because we genuinely thought that was Joe's last match. Will they move Nakamura to the main roster? I highly doubt it. I think they'll keep this running battle going to NXT Australia. Or if they do, Bobby Roode is going to be the number one contender. That's the way I looked at it. With Bobby Roode picking up that win over Ty Dillinger, he had to be the number one contender. The way like the singles division's going, he was like the main one in the card. If Austin Aries was still there, it could have been a debate for him as well. But Bobby Roode has been consistently winning on the big pay-per-views. So in theory, you'd make him the number one contender. But obviously Nakamura should get his rematch if they don't move him to the main roster. So that was that. NXT TakeOver Toronto was a brilliant show. Survivor Series has big shoes to fill tonight. The crowd were amazing. And what I will give NXT 1 point over Survivor Series so far is the theme music for the show was 10 times better than what we've got for Survivor Series. Metal music just sounds so much better for wrestling than daft pop dance music. It just always does. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for a double shift. We're going to be talking about ICW. For our Glasgow European wrestling fans that love the ICW scene, we have to talk about because it is the big one tonight for us. And also we'll get into our reaction review of Survivor Series tonight, so it's going to be a long day for the likes of me and Martin. Martin's getting himself ready. He's got a lot of things to do today. Me, I just have to wait to Survivor Series tonight. So, till tomorrow, take care everybody, enjoy your wrestling tonight.